Hi, I'm Chealse Howell, and I'm in my third year of journalism, broadcast, and print at Durham College. My goal is to be a TV personnel.
Hi, my name is Nancy Ellis, and I'm also taking journalism at Durham College, and I'd like to be a travel writer. Our class got to take a tour of the CityNews room in Toronto, and we got to meet Andrea Piunno, and she's a reporter for CityNews, and we were really interested in what she had to say.
And that's why we chose her to interview her for our Skype assignment. Here it is. What struck you to have a career in journalism? Why did you want to be a journalist?
I wish I had an easy answer.
It's okay. Take your time to think or anything.
Okay. I guess it's not something that I really thought about while I was in high school. You know, our teachers, our guidance counselors want us to have a vision. They want us to know what we want to do. But I'm sure, like many others, I really had no idea what I wanted to be.
Okay.
And it actually was quite naive thinking that I could just jump into the business and in front of the camera. And so there was this harsh reality. I did an internship at a small station. And I just figured that if I put in a lot of hard work, it would really get me to where I wanted to be. But little did I know there was going to be a lot more work ahead of me. So basically, I'm probably jumping ahead a bit, but I started off as an intern. And if you want to get into how I applied for a couple of jobs in the company, I didn't get any of them, even writing jobs.
Oh, no.
I was turned down. So I wasn't feeling really good about myself, but there was this entry-level job that opened up, and it was, I still recall, it was this job I'd never heard of. It's called a researcher / tape editor. I'm not kidding, / receptionist. So it was a small bureau, so I did it all.
Worked up to where you are, so that's just amazing. So how did you get to City TV? As you were saying, you're from Windsor, so when did you come to the Toronto area?
Well, I was in Windsor for a few years, so I really was quite persistent in wanting to be a reporter. And where I worked, because as I mentioned, it was a small bureau, we had VJs or videographers, so there really weren't any reporters. So if you wanted to report, you sort of had to do it all, which means shoot your own stuff, edit your own stuff, write it, and ultimately appear on camera. So that's how I sort of learned. And I landed, it was a maternity leave. Somebody I worked with went on mat leave, and that was sort of my opportunity to fill her shoes for the year. And this was after doing a couple stories a week. You know, I really pushed my boss, telling him that I really wanted to do this. Maybe he could try me out. And I did a couple of stories that didn't go to air in the beginning. And then eventually he let me file maybe once a week on the 11 show where there's not as many viewers. And then it just sort of grew from there. So then I took the maternity leave job, and that led to a job in Ottawa. And that actually was a full-time job. And after being in Ottawa for a year and a half, there was an opening here at City. And that's how I ended up here.
That's amazing. So you've been at City for how long now?
5 years.
5 years now. So do you plan on being there for the rest of your career, or do you want to expand to another place eventually?
As in terms, it's sort of more about work-life balance
Yes.
for me. I have a little one at home now.
What's your hardest experience that you've been through?
Well, one thing that comes to mind is this goes with any job, of course, if you have a bad day, I used to take it home with me and really dwell on things. No matter if you're in a small town or a big city, the media actually gets along quite well. It's not like, you know, the stuff you'd watch in Anchorman. It's nothing like that. I really think talent accounts for not so much, maybe little. Definitely personality, let it shine, because that's what's going to differentiate you from the rest of the pack, and work ethic.
After our successful Skype interview with Andrea Piunno from CityNews, we now know
We're going to have to work extremely hard and bust our butts to get the job that we want.